Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Draft Day Sports, Pro Golf, and it's week 41 of the competition. This is episode number 3 in the restart of the series since the update version 1.1 came out. We're at the end of the year. I'm about to start my 20-year-old season. But before we get to that, it's the end of season awards. So in the Jag Tour, Player of the Year, Albert Goyanko of the Philippines with 4 wins and 11 top 10s. He was also the money winner with $834,000. No point looking at the other tours, especially when we're not competing there. And no, I did not make it, but that's okay. I will continue, and we're into the new year. Quick update from the end of the year. After 2 seasons, my clubs and golf balls were both down to about 10 and 17%. So just right at the end of the season, I went ahead and spent about $1,500 on new clubs and balls. So you do need to maintain that from time to time. I'm back to training at 500 for the time being. But now with the decay, I will need to spend 4 points on getting my irons, power, and consistency back up to 30. But otherwise, we're ready to continue our journey. But I'm still raising funds, but they do raise a lot faster than they did previously. Now, I tried something at the end of the season, and it actually worked out pretty well. I started training 7 days a week, and at October 9, I was in the orange. But now on October 10, for the start of the new season, I'm back to fresh. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. I do not need to rest, except for early in the year for those couple days where I have tournaments that I need to be rested for. So I'll be doing my tournaments a little bit earlier in the year so I could train a bit more heavily towards the end of the season. So for now, I'll train 5 days a week. And we'll go ahead and push through. Right away, I'm already picking up copper stars. All right. So for me, I've kind of targeted 10,000 as my safe zone. You never know when something comes up. Things don't go according to plan. You need to replace clubs, things of that nature. So I want to make sure that I always have at least some reserve. So I'm going to start with the upgrades. I have 4 points to spend here and get my skills back to that 30 mark. Okay, and then I'm going to exchange the other 23, and there you go. See, you can see the cash was what, 26,000, and I spent 4, so I actually was up to 37,000 if I had exchanged first. So picked up about 11,000 in profit. And it's only November, so it's only been, 6 weeks? So I'm profiting almost $2,000 per week, which I can then turn around and put into other training. And speaking of, this is all still going to be an experiment. Now, I was on 3,000. I picked up a couple silver stars, but the rest was all copper. I'm going to try a smaller amount and see, because right now what I really need is bronze. So I'm going to try 1,000, which will actually make the money last a little bit longer. And we'll see if I can get some bronze stars. I fear, though, that I'm going to mostly get copper, which doesn't do me any good. I just have to turn around and put that back into cash, which is why I tried 3,000. And so far, there's no sign of anything besides copper stars coming out. Yeah, not one in a month of training. Picked up 7. So I actually dropped my funds by about 8,000 with no benefit. So I'm going to try 2,000 now and see if that's going to start getting me some bronze stars. Of course, I can't train for long. Once I'm down to 10,000, I got to go back to the 500 and rebuild the funds. Ooh, a gold star. Nice. I also did pick up a bronze. Let's see. Do I want to go one more week? That's going to drop me down. We'll take an extra rest day here. There we go. All right. Okay, so 1 gold star, which is technically useless to me at the moment, but let's go into the exchange, and we'll take that 1 gold star. So I get 8,000 cash, and it drops to a silver, which has an 8,000 value. I'm gonna not use that. I'm gonna take the 20,000. The loss of value is not worth it to me to get it to a silver, when really I want bronze right now. And we'll sell those 2 as well. There we go. And make 1 upgrade. And of course, new year, so all of these dropped again. So I'll get the woods back to 55 first. This is the year that begins to be the real test. Can I develop attributes and be sustainable together? Because with that -1 each year, all of these are going to just degrade that little bit. So can I get these to where they're building? So this is the real experiment this year. And I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Slowly but surely. But I think I can do it. But, you know, we've got, what, 4, 8, 10 attributes overall. So I've got to recover 10 points every year. And so far, that's 1 point. Now I'm at 30,000, so I can do some training. And I did set that to 2,000, right? Yes. Let's do 4 days. I'm already... So let's do 5. No, 4's good. Trade for a couple weeks here. I'm not going to get much from that, but it looks like I got 1 copper. There's a silver. And another copper. So that was a pretty good week in trading. Do 1 more here. Okay, nothing so far. Okay, there's a bronze. And a copper. Okay, so I have 2 that are usable, 3 that need to exchange. Yeah, here's... Oh, do I want to use those yet? Or do I want the 8,000? I'm going to take the 8,000. Yeah, there you go. That helps with the cash flow. I take that single upgrade. Wedges. Now to 55. And we have reached the start of the season. And I'm fully fresh, maybe. Well, maybe I should do Farmingdale again this year, just to check that progress. It's a tough course, though, but at least I would see where I am in comparison to previous years. But of course, at this point, my attributes haven't grown at all. I'm still in recovery mode, right? So there's really nothing to check in on until these have actually grown some. So no tournament yet. Alright, I can still do 1 week of training here, so let's do that. Okay, I think I just picked up another copper. Maybe. Okay, definitely did pick up 1 copper. There might have been 2. There were 2. So again, you can see cash does dwindle. I went from 18,000 down to 14,000. I can afford to do another week of training, but then I'll probably have to switch my model. Okay, it looks like I picked up 2 copper that week. And again, with copper's not doing me any good. I need bronze. Okay, I'm under 10,000, so it's time to go back down to 500 and recover our finances. For that, I'll click Sim Season, and actually that's not even going to last long. I'm going to have to sell some. That's why I wanted to get to 10,000, because you can't go for very long training at that 500 mark. So you could see just how slow of a crawl it is to try to progress when you're this low. Because you're not making money in tournaments. And to make money here in the training, right, when you're below 30 is so difficult. Even here, I only had 6. I guess I was at 5,000, right? 6,000, 5,000. So we picked up some. one more week. We'll exchange. Make that extra money. So I'm wondering if that 3000 model was the best at this point. I was getting silver, but at least I wasn't getting nothing but copper. 1000 I was getting nothing but copper, so that wasn't helping. 2000 I was still getting almost entirely copper. And that next training level is 3000. So the 1000 training is essentially useless because at 500 you're going to get copper. At 1000 you're going to get copper. Trade-in for copper is only 1000, and it's not even the 75% rate on that one. Alright, well, still at just 15,000. I'm going to need to continue training for a little while longer here to raise the funds up. Do another month or so on this. That'll hopefully get me up somewhere around 25,000, so then I can train at least for a few weeks or a month at a higher amount. And once I've done that training for a little bit, I think that's where I'll take maybe the one and only tournament for this year at that point, once I've done that higher level training, so at least I can pick up hopefully a few attribute points. Alright, back down to it. There we go. Okay, send to the next event. Though I'm not even at that point yet, am I? Ooh, only 11? What's going on? I should be up around 25,000. Oh, so my 75% has not been 75% here in this stretch at all. It's very hard for a reason. Well, it means I'm not there yet. I gotta stay at this level. I didn't raise any cash at all. Which means we only made about 50% through that stretch, meaning we broke even. So the odds that are supposed to be in my favor weren't so much in my favor. But that's okay. It happens. A few poor weeks of training, right? If my training goes like that for very long, I'll be 40 before I ever make a cut. Okay, that's better. And that was only a couple weeks of training. I wanted to be at 25, but we'll have to take 22,000 for now. It's going to get us about 1 week worth of training, depending on what kind of return we get on that training. I would love a platinum. That would offer a lot of training long term. Got a silver star. Let's see. It's enough to get me another week. Again, what I want right now is the bronze. As much as I could use that point on the woods and so on, I'm not improving rapidly enough right now. If I push out of that 55 range, that degradation, you lose 1 at the end of the year, you drop right back down into that range. If I drop from 55 to 54, it's only a bronze star to recover that, as opposed to a silver star to go from 56 to 55 and back up to 56. That's why I'm preferring not to go that route right now. I'd rather use the cash for the training to hopefully get some bronze stars. I'm just having trouble getting bronze stars right now. At 1,000, I'm getting nothing but copper. At 2,000, it's jumping to silver. At 3,000, it's definitely on silver. So, I'm not getting very many bronze stars right now, and that's making it hard to build those attributes through this area. That, I think, that's just luck. I doubt that's a coding issue. Could be. They might not have, maybe the 1,000 one should be more bronze and less copper than it is, but I don't know what the coding is for that. I'm assuming at this point that it's just the odds haven't gone in my favor, as I went through that few weeks stretch where I only got maybe 50% return on the copper instead of the average, which is 75. And the 75, I know that because I read the update notes for the version 1.1. And at least if my memory serves me, because that was a few weeks back, if my memory serves me correctly, there's a bronze. If my memory serves me correctly, that was written in the notes, which is why I know that that's what that is. Okay, so I'll exchange these 3. And there is 1 upgrade we're going to be able to make, and that is to the putting. Now, the sad thing is I really haven't grown yet this year. In fact, I haven't even fully recovered. I recovered the 4 that dropped out of the bronze range and back down to the copper range, and now I've recovered these 3 that were at 55 initially when I was 18. Now that means that recovery and mechanics and mental have all dropped a few points this year and last year. So they've all dropped about 2 points each. So at this point, I'm not developing anymore. So I'm going to have to get a little luck on my side or something here and develop the bronze a bit more. But we're going to head to the Pacific Ocean Links for my tournament this year. I've got to compete in 1 just for my sake. My rule's been 2, but 2 is not going to do me any good, honestly, at this point. So let's go head off to the Pacific Ocean Links in Bandon. It's light rain. We're on the coast, the Oregon coast. It makes perfect sense that there's a drizzle. And I'm playing alongside Lily McCulloch and Leonore Nascimento. Do Nascimento. Leonor. Is that a Brazilian player, maybe? Or a Portuguese? Boy, I couldn't tell you. I say Brazilian or Portuguese because those are both Portuguese-speaking nations, if you don't know that. Alright, so I am the orange ball today, and that was myself that just landed pretty close there with that chip. That was a nice putt. That was a long-range putt. And that's already a bogey on the first hole. Why I haven't spent a whole lot of time playing in tournaments. Because of that entry fee and lack of any kind of return, but that was an excellent second ball. We're in a fantastic position to get that stroke back here on the second hole. I'm within 6 feet because I'm still closest. There it is, 6-foot putt for the birdie. There it is, we're back to even. Ugh, we're in the nasty, nasty stuff here, at least on the edge of it. But we're able to drive it down the fairway. Luckily, it's a big wide one. Good approach shot here would be super helpful. Oof, that was not a good shot. We should be able to get it in 5, but I'm not sure this is really a par 5. Some of the text is off, and I didn't see updates to that when they updated to version 1.1. Yeah, I stay at even. So that was a par 5. That's one of those holes that's definitely makeable in 4. Okay. Better third shot. I guess that was second shot. So the first shot nearly went into the hazard. Right, well, even through 4 holes is fantastic for me. But it's not Farmingdale. This is not a course that's going to have a bunch of golfers hitting in the 80s. Scoring average on this course tends to be a bit better than Farmingdale. Hence, both of my... Well, Leonor just lost a stroke, but both of them were below par. Missed the approach shot there, but luckily our scramble is good. We're going to be able to tap that in to save par. So par through 6 holes. Couldn't ask for a better start than that. Decent enough shot there. We'll have a chance to save par, but at 12 feet, it's not a given. Here it is. And no, it'll be a tap in, 2-footer. Gimme there, but that's a gimme for bogey. So we drop to 1 over par through 7. We'll watch a couple more holes and then simulate through the rest. Guess with only 1 tournament this year. Ooh, great second shot. Great chance here to get back to even. 6 feet out. And it's in for the birdie. So second birdie on the day. Okay, second shot. It's not on the green though. It's on the fringe around it. But that's an easy chip. Not as close as we could be, but it should be only about 9 feet. Yeah. And we're able to sink it. So great job through the first 9 as we stay even. And look how high in the standings we are right now. Tied for 43rd, and there's not too many golfers yet that haven't started their round. Let's stick with it a little bit longer as we're actually in contention at the moment. I don't think we'll stay there for terribly long, but for the time being, we're still in this thing. So even through 10, this is going to be a difficult second shot, but it's excellently done. That'll be a tap in for the par. I've managed to only drop a couple strokes, and I've been fortunate enough to get them back. And we're looking good on this one so far. Not a great shot there, but I should be in position to get par, and it looks like that'll be a tap in. And there it is, another par. So through 12 holes, that's 8 pars, 2 bogeys, and 2 birdies. In the bunker here. This is going to be a difficult one to save par on. It's going to take a really good shot here, and that is a really good shot. Looks like we're going to save par again. Up and down. There you go, 3-footers in to stay at par. Par 3. It's right on the edge. Not sure if it's on the green or if that is the fringe. We'll find out here in a second how we play it. That'll be a tap in for par. Oof. Thought we missed that 3-footer for a second. So Lily's excellent round. McCulloch, she drops a little bit. She lost a stroke there. She goes to -2. Good second shot. We're still on the fairway. Nice wide fairways here. Relatively small bunkers. Oof. Tough shot there. This is 4 par. 15-footer, and it's in. Oh, yeah. 15 holes and still on even par. Missed the fairway here, though, but hopefully this is a decent enough spot to get out. Yes, on the green. "24 feet out, but we still had a stroke to play with." And yet another par. Quick glance at the score sheet. We've parred every single hole on the back 9. And after each bogey on the front 9, we followed it with a birdie. We've been very clutch today. Missed the 6-footer. 4 par. We're going to drop a shot there. So bogey. It was just 6 feet out. That one's a tough pill to swallow. Par 5 here. Hopefully that extra power can save us a stroke. Yes, nice. Second shot. That's going to be a decent enough approach. It's going to take a good shot, though, to follow this one with a birdie. And here we are. It's on the green. Not sure that's close enough, though, to get a birdie. 30 feet out. Yeah, that's a long putt. Six feet. Make that one after missing the previous. So that finishes the round. +1 on the day, so just a single bogey on the back nine. I'll take a look at the leaderboard now. A +1 has me in 88th place. So right now the projected cut is an even par. And that's 71 is the par. So it's going to take about a 70, or if I'm lucky, a 71 here on this second round. And it's a 74. So we probably missed the cut, but not by a lot. Cut stayed at even, so it would have taken a 70, but we really weren't that far away from the cut. So it's a pretty good round. These stats are now hard to compare to others, as I've only played on a course that cut was even. At Farmingdale, I think cut was +5. So that's a 5-stroke difference. But a 5-stroke difference here is a 78. I was over 80 before, so take that. Now, back to training. And we'll sim at least next week. Still training at this 2000 level, but then we're going to have to switch back. Did I get anything that week? Oh, I just did a week of training and got 0 stars. That's rough. That's very rough. How are we supposed to improve if you take 10 points away a year and I can't even get 10 points earned in a year? When I've gotten, 3 bronze stars this entire year? Do one more week here and then trade those in so we can get out of the almost red as our cash flow is shrinking quite a bit. I think the practice rounds, that always small chance of skills increase, that percentage should be a little higher. Slightly. I'm guessing it's 1% chance right now because I've practiced 200 times in a year and picked up a single attribute point. That would suggest 0.5%. Be a couple percentage points higher. Maybe a 5% chance of improvement. Just because the practice rounds aren't logical. They cost 500 a day and don't really get you anything. Or at least prior to 1.1. I haven't really tested that now. still got some time in this season. It's not gone yet. But I'm only going to train the rest of this year. And in terms of that training, you can see it's a struggle with that cash flow. So I can't afford to do much training. So it's going to be a while here, at least a couple months of nothing but trying to raise cash funds, which means I'm not going to build any stats. Right now, I'm still a -3 on attributes this season. Okay, so I lose 10 attribute points because I lose -1 for each of the 10 attributes of your golfer. So every year you start with a 10-point deficit. I've got to recover those 10 and then get beyond that to develop. Now, 4 of those I'm recovering with copper. I've recovered 3 points in bronze this year. That's it. So I'm still at a deficit of 3 attribute points right now for this year. So if my golfer is going to get better, if I'm ever going to get in a position where I can really make a cut, it's going to happen where I'm getting more than 10 attribute points gained in a year. But again, it's July, but trading these 12 in, I'm only up to 20,000. So, and I'm training right now, literally every day. And I've got 0% chance of getting a bronze. And maybe that's one thing. You know, maybe you throw in a 5% chance of getting a bronze star with training at that 500. Or, you know, at that 1,000 level, you know, maybe it's 50% chance of getting a copper and 10% chance of getting a bronze. You know, there's just... I think we can do this, but it's difficult with that 10-point deficit of whether I can actually make progress. But let me get through the whole year. We'll figure that out. Do one more week here, and then we'll sell, and then maybe we'll be able to train and see if we can't get another star or 2. There is a sustainable model here, but knowing that I have to get plus 10 just to break even makes it that much more difficult. Now, a few of those attributes were hovering just above 30 now. So there's something. Alright, that's a little bit. I'd rather have more than that, but let's do a little more training. Just about at the end of this episode, which is why I'm kind of starting to wrap things up. Hook me up. Give me some bronze stars this time. Come on. Get through a week here. There's a silver. And the rest are all copper. Don't want to spend the silver. Okay, here's what we're going to do. let's take the hit. I get 3,000 and that. So essentially that costs 3,000. I get 3,000, so that's 6,000. That's not a huge loss in value. And we'll sell those 3. There's 1. That gets us to 8 now. And where do I want to spend it? Because those 3 are all at 55. Mental, recovery, or mechanics. Well, mechanics is about to hit that 30 mark. Kind of want to do mechanics, but if it's going to hit that 30 mark, then I can pick up 5 attribute points, right, each year once that drops below 30 easily enough, and that makes life a little bit easier. I'm trying to get these going. So it's recovery or mental. Recovery or mental. Because I'm going to build it all the way to 55, essentially, before I kind of move on to the next. So I guess we'll do recovery. Okay, that's 8 of 10 in terms of attribute points built and recovered this year. Right, when I was in that below 30, I was making a lot more than 10 points, so that was good. That was growth. But growth here, suddenly a bit more challenging. Alright, I'm still at 2,000, but I'm still above 10,000, so let's do a little more training here. Quite fatigued. I would not be able to be successful in a tournament right now if I had continued on with that. Nothing good coming so far. In fact, not even sure Oh, okay, there's 1. That'll get us to 9. Let's do that upgrade right now. It's going to recovery though. But the point is minus 10 plus 9. So I've almost broken even. It's August. Year ends in October. I've only got a couple months. And 10, right, isn't going to help me a whole lot either. Because breaking even means a whole year and literally coming out the exact same golfer I was coming into the year. I've got to have more than 10. I've got a couple months to make it happen. But cash is gone, so I'm going to have to go back into money-making mode. Do I have something left I didn't trade yet? Yes. Exchange those 2. Alright, well, I have to find out if I get above that 10 mark next episode, because that's going to do it on this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.